We continue now at the top of Daf Nun Beis Amud Aleph Meseches Yoma. This is Yoma Daf 52a. On the previous Amud, Rabbi Meir said that when the Kohen Gadol walks to the Kodesh Kodashim, he should go between the Shulchan and the Mizbeach. And the question the Gemara asks is, why not between the Shulchan and the wall, like Rabbi Yossi? Why not go all the way along the north side, right into the Kodesh Kodashim, right where the entrance is? And so now the Gemara answers, according to Rabbi Meir, L'meya lehedya, it's not proper derech eretz to go so directly into the Kodesh Kodashim. Rashi here says, L'meya lehedya leilech eitzel hakosel hatzvoni, to go walk along the northern wall, kol orech hahechol, the entire length of the hechol, v'chol shah einov nizonos mibeis kodshei hakadashim, and the entire time his eyes are getting pleasure from the Kodesh Kodashim, derech haprifa shekenegdo, with that, again, the curtain was folded back over there, so that's already not appropriate. It's better instead to walk between the Shulchan and the Mizbeach, not go between the Shulchan and the wall, right opposite the entrance. And the Gemara continues, Rabbi Yossi Amar Lach, now Rabbi Yossi will say to you, because Rabbi Yossi said again, you do walk along the northern wall, Chavivin Yisrael Shelo Hitzrichon HaKosav L'Shliach. That shows that Klal Yisrael is beloved, that the pasuk or the Torah does not require a shliach, as Rashi over here says. Rabbi Yossi Amar L'Chavivin Yisrael Shelo Hitzrichon HaKosav L'Shliach. Ela Kol Echad V'Echad Mispalel Alatzmo. Klal Yisrael is beloved because every single person can daven for himself. Shenemar Asher Yidunish Nega Levavo Ufaras Kapav El Abayis Hazeh. It says in Sefer Malachim that every single person who needs to daven for something, he davens to this bias, to the Beis HaMikdash. Hilkach, therefore, Chaviv Hu Shaluchan Lichan is Lapumi. The point is, therefore, the messenger of Klal Yisrael, because Klal Yisrael is so beloved, they don't even need a shliach, so their shliach is considered so beloved that he's allowed to enter directly. And the Gemara continues, Rabbi Yehuda Nami. Now, according to Rabbi Yehuda also, Neol bein menorah lakosal. Why doesn't the Kohen Gadol go between the menorah and the wall? Rabbi Yehuda said you walk between the menorah and the mizbeach, meaning along the southern side. Why does he say that? Why not go all the way on the southern side between the menorah and the wall? Same kind of question as before. And the Gemara answers, Meshachri Money. That's going to cause his clothing to become black. Rashi says, Meshachri Money begodav mashchirin me'oshan hamenorah. There's smoke from the menorah in that area. Shehishcheres hakosel, it makes the wall black, and that's going to cause his clothing to get dirty. And the Gemara continues, Amar Rabbi Nosson. Rabbi Nosson says, Amatraxin. The Amatraxin again refers to the wall that's separated between the Kodesh and the Kodesh Kodashim during the first Beis HaMikdash. We mentioned that in the previous Amud. So he says, Lo hichriu bo chachamim ikilifnim ikalachutz. The chachamim were not machriya whether that's considered like the Kodesh Kodashim, that thickness of the wall, or is that considered like the Kodesh? So the Gemara says, Maskif lo Ravina. Ravina asks, my time, what's the reason we're not sure? If it's because the pasuk says, it says again the dimensions of the Beis HaMikdash, 60 amos long, 20 amos wide, 30 amos high. It says it says it was 40 amos, the area of what we call the Kodesh. And then it also says it says the Kodesh Kodashim was 20 amos by 20 amos. It was also 20 amos high, and so therefore the suffix is as follows: V'lo yadinan amatraxin imehani esrim v'imehani arboim. We simply don't know, is the amatraxin part of the 20 amos of the Kodesh Kodashim, or is it part of the 40 amos of the Kodesh? But the Gemara says v'dilma lo mehani esrim v'lo mehani arboim. Maybe it's not from the 20 or the 40. Maybe it's not part of those measurements. V'chalolo kachashiv kosalam lo kachashiv, and the pasuk is just counting the areas which are open space. The pasuk is not even counting the measurements of the walls. And the Gemara says, Teda, you should know, anytime they do count the walls, they count the area of the mechitza as well. And Rashi over here explains, meaning levad min hashishim. They count the area of the mechitza besides the 60 amos of the total space. So you see again, the walls are not counted in that 60 amos. We'll do a couple of Rashis also before. Tracks and Rashi says lashon panim v'chutz. It's a language of the inside and the outside. That's the idea, is that it's the separation between the Kodesh and Kodesh Kodashim. And Rashi also says here, Devir, what does the word Devir mean? Hi ha-mechitza, that really refers to the wall that separates. Lifnei ha-Devir chalal beis kodshei ha-Kodashim shu lifnim min ha-mechitza. That's the reason why Lifnei ha-Devir refers to the Kodesh Kodashim, because it's within, it's inside or in front of this wall. And the Gemara now proves this from a Mishnah in Midos, which says says specifically that the wall is not counted in either the 40 amos of the Kodesh or the 20 amos of the Kodesh Kodashim. It's counted separately. The Tanan, like the Mishnah says in Midos, ha'hechol meya al meya. The hechol in total was 100 by 100 amos, beru meya, and it was also a height of 100 amos. And the Mishnah now goes and delineates how you break up these 100 amos in length. Kosal ulam, the wall of the ulam, that was chomesh, that was 5 amos. V'aulam achas esrei, then the ulam itself was 11. Kosal ha'hechol sheish, then the kosal of the hechol going into the Kodesh, that was 6 amos. V'yarko arboim amma, and the length of the Kodesh was 40 amos. V'amatraxin, and you see here independently, the amatraxin was 1 amma. The chaf amma base kodshei hakadoshim, and then there was 20 amos of the kodshei kadoshim. Kosal ha'hechol sheish, and then there was another wall of the hechol that was another 6. V'hatah sheish, and then there was a chamber that was also 6 amos. The kosal hatah chamish, and then there was a wall of that chamber that was 5 amos, and all of that adds up to the 100 amma length. So in any case, the point is clear from the Mishnah that the areas of the wall are not counted together, included in the areas of the empty space. And so the Gemara says, you're right. Rather, the only issue, the suffix by the amatraxin, was not whether it's part of the 40 amos of the Kodesh or part of the 20 amos of the Kodesh Kodashim. It was simply a question of what kedusha it has. Does it have the kedusha of the Kodesh, or does it have the kedusha of the Kodesh Kodashim? Is it kilifnim like the Kodesh Kodashim, or is it kilachutz like the Kodesh? V'hainu da'amar Rabbi Yochanan, and that's what Rabbi Yochanan said. Boy Yosef ish hutzal. Yosef ish hutzal asked the following question. The pasuk in Melachim says, "Udvir besoch habayis mipnima heichen l'sitein sham es Aron bris Hashem." Again, the dvir is the partition that's right in front of the Kodesh Kodashim that was placed in the Beis Hamikdash, prepared for a place where you're going to put the Aron bris Hashem. So Ibailu, so they asked the following question: how do you read this pasuk? Heichi kamar kra. How do you read the pasuk? Where do you put the stop? Is it read as follows? Udvir besoch habayis mipnima heichen l'sitein sham. You put a partition there in order to put the Aron in the Kodesh Kodashim. If you read it that way, then the partition itself is not part of the Kodesh Kodashim. Odilmor, maybe hachi kamar. Here's how you read it. Udvir besoch habayis mipnima. The devir was inside the Beis Hamikdash mipnima. It was part of the inner area. It was part of the Kodesh Kodashim. So you see, there's such a suffix. Which kedusha does it have? But the Gemara continues. Umi mesafkale, was Yosef ish hutzol really not sure exactly where to put the stopping point in this pasuk? V'atanya, but we learned in a brisa. Isi ben Yehuda Omer. Isi ben Yehuda says chamesh mikros b'Torah. There are 5 psukim in the Torah. Ein lehen achrei, that it's not clear exactly how you read them, and we'll continue with this discussion in the next video on Daf Nun Beis Amud Beis.